Firework-related injuries from 2018 year-end revelries declined by 68% according to the Department of Health. PNP declares year-end festivities as generally peaceful despite recording 26 cases of indiscriminate firing. And government agencies report a significant decline in fire cases but higher air pollution rate in Metro Manila during New Year celebrations. Good evening. The Department of Health, or DOH, has recorded the lowest number of firecracker-related injuries amid the New Year festivities. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Major government hospitals saw a number of firecrackers-related victims on the New Year celebration. Some had hand or eye injuries. However, the Department of Health, or DOH, records show that from 6 in the morning of December 31, 2018 to January 1, 2019, the number of firecracker-related injuries only reached 139, a far cry from the 428 cases in 2017 to 2018, or 68% difference. The DOH also said this is the lowest recorded number in firecracker-related incidents. Majority of the injured were male and a significant number of them, or 81%, were 2 to 69 years old. 102 cases were burn victims, 5 were amputated, and 36 suffer eye injuries. Most of the victims recorded were from Metro Manila. Quites or skyrockets were the leading cause of injuries, followed by boga and piccolo. This number, however, is still expected to rise as reports have just started to reach the DOH. The DOH added that a big factor in the decrease of firecracker-related injuries can be attributed to the government's Executive Order No. 28 regulating the use of firecracker and other pyrotechnic devices. The department also supports the total firecracker ban. Meanwhile, no stray bullet victims were recorded in the New Year festivities. Rosalie Cos, UNTV, News and Rescue, Philippines.
Meanwhile, the year-end festivities have been generally peaceful this year despite the 26 cases of indiscriminate firing that were recorded by the Philippine National Police during the holiday season. Leia Ilagan tells us why.
Despite the Philippine National Police stern warning against indiscriminate firing, authorities still recorded a total of 26 incidents from December 16, 2018 to 6 a.m. on January 1, 2019. Based on record of the PNP National Operations Center, out of the said number, 23 people were arrested including 7 cops, 10 civilians, 2 government officials, 1 soldier, 2 security guards, and a member of another law enforcement agency. According to PNP Chief Director General Oscar Albayalde, the 7 cops will face charges especially if proven that they used their service firearms outside of duty.
Dismissible from the service yun, yung indiscriminate firing, kung wala silang sapat na dahilan kung bakit nila pinutok yung kanilang baril. Well, yung illegal discharge of firearms, dismissible from the service yun. Sinabi naman natin sa kanila and we warned them repeatedly na do not engage in indiscriminate or illegal discharge of firearms.
Meanwhile, authorities recorded 14 victims of indiscriminate firing, with 7 from the National Capital Region, 1 from Cagayan Valley, 5 from Central Luzon, and 1 from Central Visayas. No incidents of stray bullets were recorded during the year-end revelry, but the PNP noted 3 from the past 3 days, with each from the National Capital Region, Davao Region, and the Cordillera Administrative Region. On the other hand, the PNP chief said the year-end festivities has been generally peaceful this year.
Sa kalahatan, basically naging peaceful. There's a drastic improvement, lalo-lalo na yung mga injuries due to firecrackers. Last night, meron lang tayong 8 as of this time na nasugatan because of firecrackers at 0 incident tayo sa stray bullet incident.
Albayalde added that Filipinos have learned their lessons about the dangers of firecrackers as well as the harm of gun firing. Nel Maribuho, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Fire incidents declined significantly as the new year starts, but pollution level is still a problem. Ray Palayo will tell us why.
The Bureau of Fire Protection has recorded only 7 fire incidents from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. on January 1, 2019. BFP spokesperson Fire Superintendent Joan Vallejo said 6 incidents were recorded in Metro Manila and 1 in Ilocos. All cases were caused by faulty electrical wiring system and none were firecracker-related. According to the BFP, the figures this year is lower by 82.35% as compared to the record in 2018 with 34 fire incidents. The estimated amount of damage from all 7 fire incidents were recorded at more than 70,000 pesos, a significant decline from 7.5 million worth of damage in 2017. For the entire year, however, the agency recorded a total of 16,215 fire cases, which was higher than last year with only 14,117. But despite the increase in number of fire incidents in 2018, the overall amount of damage was lower with only 4.3 billion pesos as compared to that of 2017, which hit 21 billion pesos.
Sa palagay ko ma'am, it is not about the rain or because of the rain kasi po ang leading po na cause ng sunog natin ay electrical.
Meanwhile, air pollution due to firecrackers still recorded a significant amount. Environmental Management Bureau Assistant Director Visminda Osorio said their air quality stations recorded 315 micrograms per normal cubic meters of particulate matters or PM2.5 in Parañaque as of 3 a.m. January 1, 2019. This is hazardous to human health because PM2.5 are small particles that may penetrate lungs if inhaled.
Pag ma-inhale mo yung klaseng hangin na kasama yung concentration doon ay talagang maapektuhan ang baga and even yung sa heart mo.
DNR favors the total banning of firecrackers to avoid air pollution. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
And it was baby number 3 for the Bonto family from Quezon City who greeted 2019 at the Dr. Fabella Memorial Hospital. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Baby Syra was born at 1:05 a.m. on January 1 through a normal delivery. She is the New Year baby of the Dr. Jose Fabella Memorial Hospital. According to Mrs. Bonto, she wants her youngest to grow healthy, be a good person, and finish her studies. Her husband is a construction worker. Their eldest and second child are 7 and 3 years old. Mrs. Bonto said she and her husband are now talking of family planning after her pregnancy with baby Syra.
Makapagtapos po siya ng pag-aaral niya at lumaki siyang mabait.
According to the senior house officer of the Dr. Fabella Hospital, they still consider baby Syra as their New Year baby, although she was born at past 1 a.m. of January 1. The doctor also said baby Syra's case was not unusual, although her mother had longer labor pains.
We usually prepare talaga pong ready to vaginally delivered na for the new year. But this case right now, medyo yun nga po, almost an hour after. Although it would be normal pa rin naman ma'am kasi she came at 8 cm at 11:45 p.m. Then 11:45 p.m. and then she had a vaginal delivery at 1 a.m. So still ano pa rin po, normal progress of labor.
The Dr. Fabella Hospital is considered the busiest maternity ward in the Philippines and it is also tagged as the country's baby factory. The hospital records around 24,000 babies born every year, while 60 to 70 mothers in labor are admitted every day. A New Year baby received freebies or giveaways from some sponsors of the hospital. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Meanwhile, the Department of Energy reminds oil companies to consume first all their petroleum stocks in 2018 before imposing new excise taxes this January. Under the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion or TRAIN law, there will be a 2 peso and 24 centavos per liter price hike on gasoline, diesel, 1 peso and 12 centavos per liter increase on kerosene, and another peso per kilo on LPG. The Department of Energy has been monitoring the stocks of oil companies since September to ensure that these will not be included with the excise tax in 2019. Oil companies need to declare in a signage if they are already implementing the excise tax. The second tranche of excise taxes was approved during the price drop of petroleum products in the world market. Manila's historic Spanish Quarter is set to get a makeover this 2019. JL Asayo tells us why.
Tourists wanting to take a glimpse of the old Manila and its historic Spanish quarters often visit the Intramuros, where palatial public buildings, stately townhouses made of stone and wood, and grand structures rose. Intramuros, a Latin word translated as within the walls, is located along the south bank of Pasig River and was the fortress-like district from where the Spanish ruled the Philippines for over 300 years. Also called as the Walled City, it features old but still grand buildings like the Palacio del Gobernador, which serve as the residence of then Spanish Governor General, and the San Agustin Church, the oldest of the 3 Baroque churches found in the Philippines. The church, built in the 1500s, has been declared as a heritage site by UNESCO. Intramuros also features Fort Santiago, where Filipino hero Jose Rizal was jailed for speaking out against the Spanish rulers and executed through a firing squad in December 30, 1896. Rizal's works can also be found here. In a bid to attract more visitors, the Intramuros administration is planning to clean up and preserve the quarter this year, which includes structural repairs and making the area more secure. The administration also plans to erect new museums that will house never-before-seen art collections.
What to expect next year in 2019 basically is the opening of the new Museo de Intramuros. This will be basically the new museum of Intramuros administration, which will house collections, mga never-before-seen ecclesiastical art collections.
The Intramuros management also intends to open the 44-chambered Royal Warehouse as an iconic creative hub, which is a first in the Philippines. The structure that served as a storage area during the galleon trade and Spanish period will be restored in partnership with a private firm. The Maestranza Creative Quarters project is expected to be completed within 6 months.
So it will be a space for incubation, space also for co-working spaces, and basically ang target nito will be those engaged in the creative design services, for them to have a space not just for exhibition but also to improve on their respective skills and crafts.
The Intramuros administration also plans to proceed with its lighting program and conservation management plan to light up and maintain the walled city's original and historic structures. Intramuros roads and drainage system will also be repaired. The management hopes that their makeover plans will bring Intramuros a tourism boost. JL Asayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Meanwhile, more than 400 persons deprived of liberty in San Pablo District Jail in Laguna get free services in a medical mission rendered by the UNTV and Members Church of God International. Here's why from Grace Cassidy.
Mercy, not her real name, has been suffering from blurry vision since she got sent into the San Pablo District Jail in Laguna 2 years ago for a crime she already committed. Mercy says she has been meaning to have her eyes checked and to acquire eyeglasses, but was unable to do so as she lacks money and need to secure permission from the court.
Nung dumating ako dito kasi nanlabo na rin ang labo eh. Mga 2 years, ganun. Lagi kong wini-wish. May mga nagbibigay din naman dito, kaya lang talagang reading lang, yung hindi nagche-check up. Walang nagche-check up. Sa bahay pa kasi to, sa amin pa. Tagal na to. Tagal, sa pag nagsasalamin na ako, dapat nga yung doble vista. Kaya siguro 2 yung binigay sa akin. Nagpapasalamat ako kasi kahit paano nabigyan pansin kami dito, lalo na kaming mga may edad na pinrioritize nila sa pag-check up ng mata. Siyempre natutuwa kami.
Another inmate named Andy has been complaining for difficulty in breathing and swallowing. He has been in prison for 4 years now but has yet to get his condition checked and treated.
Siyempre, masarap ang pakiramdam namin kasi kumbaga nabibigyan kami ng atensyon kahit paano sa aming kalusugan. At maraming salamat din sa pamunuan ng BJMP dahil hindi rin naman kami pinababayaan. Every time may mayroong ganitong klase ng medical mission, so nabibigyan kami ng pagkakataon na ma-check up, may labas kung ano yung mga nararamdaman. Maraming salamat din sa inyong samahan dahil talagang binigyan kami ng magandang pagtanggap.
Mercy and Andy were just among the more than 400 persons deprived of liberty in San Pablo District Jail who availed free medical and legal consultation services, as well as optical, dental extraction, ECG, blood sugar test, vitamins and medicines, and other free medical services rendered by UNTV and MCGI. San Pablo District Jail houses more than 600 inmates in total, according to Assistant Jail Warden SJO4 Oliver Obispo. The free medical service is a huge help, especially for ailing and elderly inmates.
Masayang-masaya po ang BJMP sa ganitong mga pinagbibigyan na mga request namin dahilan sa natutugunan ng kanilang pangangailangan sa kanilang kalusugan. Kami po ay lubos na nagpapasalamat kay Brother Eli dahil sa mga ganitong big time na medical mission. Sa katunayan, parang ito yung pinakamalaking kompleto na medical mission na ginanap dito.
MCGI and UNTV have been conducting free medical services and other charity events in and out of the country as part of its advocacy to help people, especially those in need. Grace Caston, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Up next on Y News. Death toll from the effects of tropical depression Usman reaches 75. And ARMM Governor Mujib Hataman calls for a thorough investigation on an explosion that rocked a mall in Cotabato City. More reasons behind the stories when Y News returns. Welcome back to Y News, and here are the headlines. Police investigation on the mall blast in Cotabato City that killed 2 individuals now underway. Tropical depression Usman leaves 75 people dead and damages 300 million pesos worth of agricultural damages. And 92% of Filipinos still hopeful for 2019 according to a survey of the social weather stations. The Philippine National Police or PNP remains blank on the suspects in the Cotabato bombing. Mon Hokson tells us why.
The Philippine National Police is yet to ascertain the suspects in the bombing in South Seas Mall in Cotabato City on Monday, December 31. 2 people died and 34 others injured in the blast that happened in broad daylight when shoppers were busy ahead of the New Year celebration. According to PRO 12 spokesperson Police Superintendent Aldrin Gonzalez, the Special Investigation Task Group is still ongoing with its investigation on the incident. Though the process has been difficult as no one or no group has admitted to carrying out the bombing as of today.
Going pa yung investigation na ginagawa nga ng IPG at hintayin natin yung official findings nila.
Nevertheless, the PNP is currently examining the videos captured on CCTVs in the area and the testimonies of the witnesses. Gonzalez, meanwhile, confirmed that the PNP 12 Explosive and Ordnance Division is verifying the signature imprinted into the improvised explosive device used in the incident.
Still, nandun pa sa EOD, no, yung mga shrapnel at ibang sangkap ng IED na pumutok at sinusuri pa nila. And hopefully, for this following days, mapapalabas na ng EOD kung anong signature ng IED at doon din tayo makapagpunggod kung anong grupo ang nasa likod nito.
It can be recalled that in August, authorities matched the signature imprinted on the IED used in the Isulan bombing with the one recovered in the botched attack in Coronadal in Region 12. The IEDs were detonated using a cellular phone as triggering device, and the power source was identified to be a 9-volt battery. The container of both IEDs were also similar, a water pump barrel or a jetmatic. Gonzalez also confirmed that the 34 wounded in the blast are now recovering in the hospital. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue.
In other news, Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or ARMM, Governor Mujib Hataman condemns the bombing that took place yesterday in front of a mall in Cotabato City yesterday, December 31st. The ARMM regional governor also called those behind the incident evil. The blast, which happened a minute before 2 in the afternoon, left behind 2 dead and 28 injured. In a statement released by Hataman this morning, he underscored that he completely denounces the incident and that they are grieving the significant number of casualties it left behind. Hataman also called for a thorough investigation on the incident and to ensure that such will not happen again. The official also urged civic leaders and security officials to be united and be of support to each other in this wake of this tragic event. Although not part of the ARMM, its seat of power, which is in Sharif Kabunuswan complex, is in Cotabato City. Several residents in Ginobatan, Albay are facing difficulties after heavy rains brought by Tropical Depression Usman turned ash and grits from Mount Mayon into mud. Victor Cosare tells us why.
Some roads in Purok 8 in Barangay Masarawag in Ginobatan, Albay have been rendered impassable to vehicular traffic after these were blocked by mud from the slopes of Mount Mayon. Thick mud formed after heavy rains brought by Tropical Depression Usman drenched the ash and grits that the volcano spewed in the past few days. Other parts of Albay were also waterlogged due to rains brought by Usman. An amateur video recorded by Richel Sarcia showed raging flood waters near their house's porch.
First time ko na naka-encounter ng ganito. Kaya nangyari yung nilagay namin sako dyan sa harap. Inagos na siya. Sabi kasi malakas talaga, parang yung lakas ng
Naano kami kasi baka mabaan kami kasi nasa gitnaan kami ng tubig.
Some village officials said they usually encounter this kind of situation when heavy rains prevail in their area amid Mount Mayon periodic explosion.
Yung problema namin pagka yung malakas talagang baha, yung taga Purok 2, Purok 3, walang madaanan pagka tatakbo sila. Kaya mag-evacuate, wala na talaga sila madadaanan.
Ginobatan Vice Mayor July Tingson admits they have yet to implement a long-term solution to the problem due to lack of budget.
Local government unit, ang ginagawa namin dito, preventive evacuation. Pag alam namin na may bagyo darating or ulan na malakas or warning, ini-evacuate namin before pa dumating yung ulan. So yun aming immediate solution na ginagawa.
The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, explained the thick clouds of ash and mud that covered Masarawag village was a hyper-concentrated flow. The agency advises residents to exercise caution and evacuate when necessary, as this may pose danger if heavy rains continue to pour.
Hindi pa yun yung debris flow na medyo delikado na talaga kasi mas marami ng sediment.
Victor Cosare, UNTV, News and Rescue, Philippines.
Meanwhile, despite all the issues and hardships encountered in 2018, 92% of Filipinos are still hopeful for 2019, as shown in the recent SWS survey. Malacanang, in the meantime, expressed gratitude towards the Filipinos for their optimism. Eileen Cerudo tells us why.
Hashtag page 1 of 365 is trending on Twitter as netizens welcomes 2019 with hope and optimism. Like Castro, who posted, "Sunshine comes to remind us that God is still the beginning of everything." Meanwhile, John Mark posted, "2019 should be welcomed with a grateful heart, positive vibes, and renewed hope." Is it with hopes or with fears that you enter the coming year? This was asked to 1,440 respondents across the country by Social Weather Stations, or SWS, in their fourth quarter 2018 survey. A great majority, or 92% of Filipinos, are hopeful for the year 2019, and only a handful of 8% are entering the year with fear. The 92% result is 4 points lower compared to that in 2017, and the number of Filipinos who are fearful also increased by 4 points compared to that of last year. Nevertheless, the results of the survey, which SWS had been conducting since 2000, still remains high. Conversely, the Malacanang says it is grateful for the optimism of Filipinos. According to presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo, the survey results only showed how the people are unaffected by the critics of President Rodrigo Duterte. He also expressed optimism that 2019 will be an exciting year because of the accomplishments done by the administration in the previous year. Aileen Cerudo, UNTV, News and Rescue.
President Rodrigo Duterte appeals to Filipino people to reflect on the nation's past and learn from its lessons to face a future with more confidence. The president said in his message for 2019 that the country welcomes the new year full of hope and optimism. The chief executive also believes that with the solidarity of the people, the country can overcome the challenges that impede its continued march over towards more progressive future. He also encouraged everyone to face all obstacles head-on, armed with knowledge and hope that the nation will triumph over any struggles that it will face. The president also appealed to every Filipino to work with the government in defeating illegal drugs, criminality, and corruption. Meanwhile, the Members Church of God International, or MCGI, surprises indigent families with gifts during year-end revelry. Leslie Longbowen tells us why.
As many were merrymaking to usher the year 2019, many of our fellow men were hungry and were not given attention, but not by a certain group. The Members Church of God International, or MCGI, went to the streets in different areas of the country to surprise indigent families with some gifts such as dinner, grocery items, and financial aid.
Nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord na meron pong naaawa sa amin magbigay-bigay.
Maraming salamat po. Nakita niyo po yung mga gaya naming mahirap.
Salamat kaayo ninyong tanan.
The group also granted small wishes such as livelihood assistance.
Maraming salamat po sa UNTV po. Sana po gabayan po sila ng Diyos po.
Maraming salamat po. Malaking tulong po sa mga anak ko. Makakaraos kami makakaragdag sa panghanap buhay namin.
Activities that help the needy are regularly held by MCGI in line with its advocacy that there is no good deed that results in evil. Leslie Longbowen, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Up next on Y News. Rescuers search for survivors after a blast in an apartment block in Russia kills 4. Turkish TV shows video of purported transportation of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi's remains to his country's consul general in Istanbul.
Doon naman patungo, di ba? Ba't ka pa nag-aalala?
And the one-on-one showdown of Top 8 Season 2 recoveries begin. Y News will be right back after this quick break.